Hey, listen, I just want to call out one person.
And I hate myself a lot. But stuff. You're getting punched in the dick.
There needs to be more Street Shark references.
I say who?
That's funny as hell.
Welcome, everybody, to the Underqualified and Overcompensated podcast. Just like inflation, your money doesn't go as far. We can only bring you 2 hosts instead of 3. We had to cut back. Cody is still on assignment with me. Hey there, Tyler.
Hello, Rico and the internet. I'm so happy to be back. It's been at least 3 weeks. It's been a long time. I actually just learned that it was not going to be the 3 of us about 15 minutes ago.
Inflation.
So that was disappointing. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Brandon.
But yeah, let's go, Brandon. But Rico and I are here for you, internet. All right, we're here to give you our hottest opinions about lukewarm topics. All right, that's what we do. All right, I think that's what's expected of us.
Yes.
If we ever change the name of this podcast, I think that's what we should change it to.
To the lukewarm cast.
Hot opinions. The hot opinions lukewarm topics show.
That's very engaging.
It is.
Ooh, hot opinions to things.
Hey, man, you know what? Hey, how about that Downton Abbey movie? I heard.
Oh my gosh,
it exists.
It's so British. So British.
The most British.
And that was our lukewarm take.
Please don't tune out. That was a joke. We're not actually talking about that.
Well, thank you, Tyler, for joining us back here. And you know, obviously, you've got stuff going on. Cody has stuff going on. He's still fighting ninjas in Georgia or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, that's where you fight ninjas.
Specifically in Georgia.
The state of Georgia.
So what do we got going on today? You know, everything's fine. That's the title of the show. Everything's fine.
It's a good title for a show. So Rico and I have not been together for, like I said, at least 3 weeks.
True.
So I'm gonna give a heads up. We're probably gonna talk a lot about politics.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get sidetracked immediately.
100%.
Because that's the way the two of us operate. So if you want to hear talk about some politics and then some dumb shit, hey, you're in the right place on the internet. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Like, share, subscribe.
You fucking found us. But,
we're the question mark at the end of LGBTQ plus 27 divided by 3.
Boy, there are letters now. Here's what I don't understand. Okay?
What don't you understand?
I don't understand how, like, the plus was in there first, but we still kept adding letters. Like,
because the other letters were not represented enough. You
but
can't
isn't that what the plus stood for?
It's too vague. It's too vague.
Isn't what's when you say ... you know how look at my title, Tyler ... just the two of us, right? Isn't there a name for that? It's like an ampersand or something. No, that's the
no. There is a name for it. It escapes me right now. If you're in the chat, let us know what that is. I used to know it, and then I forgot stuff because I'm old. I look pretty, but I'm old.
Couldn't we just do that? Like, couldn't we just hey man, y'all know who you are. Good for you for being you. But like, I don't understand why we keep adding letters and then we just push the plus to the right.
Yeah. It's like the Elon meme of the left line keeps going further and further. Everything else, it keeps going further and further.
It's wild. Like, all right, hey, listen, represent everybody. That's fine. Yes. But isn't that what that plus is for?
It's not specific enough. It's like if we did this show and it was like, hey, Tyler's here, and that guy. No, I'm Rico Bobby.
Okay. When you put it like that, I understand. when you include me in the example, my ego completely focuses on what you're saying.
That's the go-to. That's effective communication. You put somebody right in the center of the topic, and then you build off that branch. You're welcome.
You fucking nailed it. I have no notes.
Well, since we're out of notes, here's what we got going on this week. If we can get to all of it, if we can't, we can get distracted. That's fine. We're just hamsters on a wheel that are falling off. We've got inflation. Everything's up. January 6th. Distraction or not. Pelosi's husband apparently is legal for him to just drive drunk. Fuck it. We'll get to that if we can. I've got some speculation with a final topic. We'll see if we get there. Lately, we've been keeping these episodes short. We may do the same thing. Hey, guys, we're low on energy, even though I sound like I'm fucking cranked right now. Tyler, let's go.
Let's do this. All right, where do we start?
Everything's up, man. Inflation.
No. So what you mean? So when you say everything is up, Rico, you know what I hear?
What do you hear?
Everything is fine.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the title of the episode. Everything's fine.
Hey,
come on.
You know what? Here's the thing, and and let's talk about this. Is when you say everything is up, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I'm gonna correct you. Okay.
Okay.
Because
make sure you use me in the.
The stock market is not. So not only is everything that you're buying pricier, your savings is less, your retirement is less, because I don't know if people understand how like 401ks work, but your 401k, your retirement account, is linked into the stock market.
I don't know if you understand. Old Joey Boombox, Brandon, political Eagle Boss guy, he just said, everything's fine. The economy is better than it's ever been. People are saving more money. People are so secure in what's going on. Not babies. Not people with guns, not people that want to pay the rent, not people that drive cars or anything with an engine that requires fuel, not even engines, because once you mix in ethanol, which is the next expectation, your engine on your gas vehicle go bad. But those are small things. Who even thinks about stuff like that?
Small potatoes.
Small.
I like how you let off with babies. Like, the future generation of our species.
Inconsequential. You weren't here for it. I didn't have the war on babies. That was last week's topic or the topic before. I don't know.
War on babies. First of all, as someone with no children and who doesn't want children, I want to hear more about that war.
Then you can go back to 2 episodes ago. The war on babies.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Check the link up here. It's not up here. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know, right? I watch YouTube all the time, and they put that in, and they know how to point to it, and I was like, these guys are fucking wizards.
Oh, you're a wizard, Harry. So, inflation. Guess what it's at? You're smart. You know what it's at, but you've been working for the last 24 hours.
Yeah. It's at the highest point in like 40 years. It's like 8.2%.
Very close. And probably 3 days ago, it probably was that number. But every day you hear the record numbers yet again.
Yep.
And then we have inflation at 8.6%. I have a child sneaking in right now. She's sick, 102 fever. But I'm going to kick her out real quick in a second. Nope. This is not your time. This is daddy's time. The rest of my time is your time. This is my time.
This is that war on babies we heard about.
The war on babies. Stop.
She is actively climbing on top of you.
I know she is. Get away from me. I have a restraining order for a reason.
Respect the law, you liberal.
Hey, does food seem more expensive to you?
Yes, everything seems more expensive to me.
Everything. But specifically food, what would you gauge food at right now? Kenny, what up, dog?
This is going to sound really misogynistic of me, but I'd say my wife does most of the food shopping. I'm talking to you now, Kenny.
I'm listening. You can't hear me having a conversation with my daughter, but I can hear everything you're saying.
I know. My wife does most of the food shopping, so honestly, I don't have a grasp on the food prices. Here's what I do know. My bank account is stupid low So my wife does most of the shopping, but I do most of the finance, right? So when I go in to pay credit cards off and to look at balances, and I look at it and go, oh, there used to be a comma in that number. Meaning there's 4 numbers there. Now there's not a comma. That's off-putting. I'm dead serious. I'm on duty last night, and I checked our bank account, and it was unbelievably low. Like
flies and dust came out of the app.
I'm telling you.
Dust bunnies, tumbleweeds.
I wanted to text my wife, and I was just like, oh, it's 2:00 in the morning. I probably shouldn't do that. Like, it's ridiculous how quickly my funds are running out.
Absolutely insane.
And I work for the government that is causing it.
Kenny says $6 for a pound of hamburger meat. It is disgusting right now. Things that used to cost $2. They say food is just up 11.9% as of today. But it feels like...
Did you say just?
Yeah, I know.
You said just 11.9, and that's where we are right now.
11.9% increase over a pre-Brandon era. And it's a good time for you to be on. You know what? Because we've had this conversation before, and we're already getting distracted. We say a lot of times you're feeling the effects of a prior president during the current president's first part of their term.
Not this one.
What do you think? Give me something on that.
Not this one. I have never seen a president fuck up as fast and hard
He's so bad.
as this one has. It's really bad. Like, I know every Republican sits there and goes like, Jimmy Carter's the worst president.
That's all I've heard is Jimmy Carter. He's worse than Jimmy Carter. He's the worst president of our time.
Every Republican just looks at Jimmy Carter and they're like, it's terrible. Like, literally, Iranian terrorists waited until Jimmy Carter was out of the Oval Office just to release American hostages. That happened, people. Like, they waited until Ronald Reagan was sworn in just to prove a point to Jimmy Carter. Iranian terrorists did this, okay? So all people talk about is how bad of a president Jimmy Carter was.
Okay.
And I wasn't alive, right?
No, neither was I.
I wasn't around when Jimmy Carter was president. When
I'm old, but not that old.
Exactly.
That was the 70s.
Exactly. Stop.
I just missed the cut.
We're still, I think we're millennials. At least I am, I'm told.
Yeah, I don't know what we are. Everything's got its own label now. I'm a broom sweeping American. I don't fucking know what the hell I am. Yeah. It's like
I work for a living, and that's why I'm getting fucked.
And he was around during the Carter years.
So everyone wants to talk about like, oh, Jimmy Carter this. Like, I've never seen a president fuck up a recovering like. So think about this. Think about how bad the economy was during COVID because the government said don't go to work, don't leave your house. So you're not getting an income. People aren't spending money. There's literally no injection of money into the economy. So the world economy became stagnant for almost a year until other places started to open up. You know, and I don't just mean like the states and no, the world economy, right? It was shut down.
Oh yeah, everything.
And so
except for me, I went to work. So did Tyler. So
stop it. Stop. You know what they get? They threw me a cloth mask that looked like everybody else, and they went, "COVID, we beat COVID with this." and then Fauci comes out and he's like, "Cloth masks didn't do anything," and the army just went, "Oh well."
That's not what last week's SOP says. It was signed by somebody really important. That's all that matters.
I'm pretty sure there's an NG next to this individual's name. So is he not smart? So think about the economy where it was coming, and it was coming back. Like as soon as I can't speak to the world economy, but I can speak to Americans where they were just like, I need to get out of my house. I want to work. People wanted to. For the most part, most people wanted to work again. There were the shitbags that were just like, oh, the government's going to pay me to stay at home? Yeah, I'm going to do that. They're called liberals, but I'm not. I don't want to get off on that pathway.
No liberals.
We wanted to go back to work. We wanted to go shopping. We wanted to go on vacation. We wanted to fly again. Nobody likes flying. Everybody hates flying. And yet people are like, I fucking hate flying. And yet all people wanted to do was like, I can't wait to fly somewhere. And you're just like, is this the 60s?
Can't wait to leave these 4 fucking walls that I've been encased in for who knows how fucking long.
The economy was waiting. It was waiting to explode. Like, think about that. Like, the economy was just like, oh boy, here we go. And then here comes Brandon, right? And he just, I've never seen someone do, it's almost like he recognized what the right thing to do was and then did the opposite. It's almost like he had that thought process, right? And then he went, no, COVID is still a thing.
Hold my Metamucil.
Exactly. Like, yep, hold my fucking ice cream. I'm gonna put these Ray-Bans on and I'm gonna fuck this country up. And that's why, like, in previous episodes, you know, when my blood pressure goes up and I was just like, you voted for this guy. And I'm staying calm tonight, but like, that's the whole thing. Like, people voted for this person, and this individual, along with Congress. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not letting Congress off. Both Republicans and Senate are both Republicans and Democrats. But Democrats control both houses, so like, you got a little bit more egg on your face. But like, this individual, this administration, and the Congress fucked up so hard. I can't understand what they were thinking, right? I cannot understand except the fact that it helps them push their agenda forward, right? It helps people.
I don't even get what their agenda is at this point.
Their agenda,
just to keep themselves in power. That's the only thing I can see.
So it is that, because their agenda is, when liberals are in power, we will help you not have to go to work. You can rely on the government to pay your bills. You can go to work, but if you don't want to, guess what? There's universal income. There's help. Someone else is paying for your health care. Exactly. And like, I'm so interested in the idea of like a universal health care, a universal, like all of it, this utopian society. Like, I'd love to actually study something like that. Right? Because it's not socialism, and it's literally saying, put all of your faith in the government and see what happens. Like, yes, they'll pay you. Also, all of your privacy and your independence out the window. But that's what at this point, all the Democrats are trying to do is hold on to power. That's all they're trying to do. Yeah. This will segue.
That's what it feels like.
This will segue into our conversation about January 6th.
Yeah.
But this administration and this Congress, I don't know when, especially since I've studied, and I'm not just saying since I've been alive, but since I've actually been paying attention to government. I can't think of any time where one administration has been solely responsible. You cannot put this on Donald Trump's presidency. You cannot put this
that's it. The opportunity presented itself, because we've talked about it before.
Yes.
And it's normally you're seeing the fallout from the previous fucking president's policies.
Yep. No.
And in this case, it just,
think about it. Think about when Joe Biden took office, all the executive actions he signed that turned over the previous administration.
Because it came from old Mr. Mean tweets.
Exactly. It came from Bad Orange Man, who is bad and is also orange.
Do you think they'd be like, okay, so do you think, this is random, I apologize. Do you think like I'm on Twitter a lot. It's a fucking wasteland, I know, but I'm on there a lot. And you see like the Mark Ruffalo's of the world, the Christopher Tituses of the world, the Patton Oswalts of the world, who are still pro-Biden. They don't want to complain. Everything's fine. Everything is fucking fine, hence the name of the episode, except for everything with me and Donald Trump. Do you think they'd be happier with themselves? Like, actually, like, fulfilled happy if Trump was still in office and they could just blame everything that's happening on fucking Trump?
Yes.
Because right now they can't even bring them you see your NBCs, your CNNs, they're starting to be like, oh God, Biden, slow your roll, bro.
Yeah,
and
criticized him.
Yes, they're on his ass like the fucking liberal media is becoming Fox News fucking light because they're so pissed off with what's happening with Biden.
At a certain point,
and I just feel like these people that are like suppressing their feelings and still on mean orange guy tweet dude, I feel like they'd be happier if he was still in office and this was all happening.
All of them would. All of it. And CNN would
Imagine the uproar.
CNN would love it if he was back in power because it gave them ratings. And all these people, like the people that you want to talk to, like the celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Because Christopher Titus and celebrities
Barely.
are not.
He had a TV show once. He's just there are two people that are like the exact polar opposites. You've got Christopher Titus and friend of the show, the dude from 5 Times August. They're on completely different sides of the fucking political spectrum. And the dude from 5 Times, check our previous episodes. A great interview with him. He's his daily Twitter feed has become very, very conservative. And when we interviewed him, something has changed. Something has changed with him. Something has changed, obviously, with this country. Something's changed with, at least myself. I can't speak for you, but things are fucked.
This country, and it started. I think it started with Bush, with W, where people like defined themselves by their politics. Right. I remember being in college when Bush was running for re-election, and people were like, "He's a fucking warmonger. He's stupid." And you were like, you're getting personal. And it's like, well, I voted for George W. Bush and I'm going to vote for him again. And they're like, you're a piece of shit. And you want white people to rule over Afghanistan. So I was like, okay, well, hold on. Slow your roll. Like, no, I have opinions about politics. And I think George W. Bush has a better view for the government than John Kerry does. And I think history has proven me correct in that. And it started then. And now it is just 100 times. And we can get into the January 6th things because that's exactly what this is now it has become, if you sympathize or if you identify as a Republican who has an ounce of sympathy or support for the Donald Trump administration, not Donald Trump himself, the administration, you're racist, you hate police, which I love the fact that now liberals care about police. When it comes to January 6th, Democrats are really passionate about protecting police. Not when it comes to the previous summer when the entire country was on fire. And
that was a peaceful, fiery protest. Bonfires everywhere. Lots of marshmallows.
I've been to a bonfire. Everybody ends up being shot. All right. I have been to a bonfire in Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania. Guess what? When the fire gets lit, people start drinking, guns come out. I'm sorry, that's what bonfires are. So even if you want to paint it like it's a bonfire, someone's getting shot. I've been to a lot of hick parties. I don't apologize for it.
You don't have to. You should never have to apologize for going to that term that you said. I don't feel comfortable with my skin color saying it. I don't want to offend anybody. Those types of parties. Yes, your word, not mine. I lost my H-ick card, I guess, at some point.
You can say it.
I can't say it. It would be disrespectful to people of your complexion. That said, I mean, there should be more bonfires.
People from the Caucasus Mountains? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, people from the Caucasian Mountains. That said, there should be more bonfires, but people can't afford to start those fires because gas today, every day, a new high. It's like, it's the stoner that just like, I started with ditchweed and now I'm smoking fucking crystal meth. I'm getting higher and higher every day. Gas is the gateway drug.
It is.
To bonfires.
Stop blaming cigarettes, all right? You know what the real gateway drug is? Joe Biden's administration.
Oh, Joey Boombox. Gas average today, $5. In parts of California, obviously California is a fucking wasteland, but you have some insight on California, so I'll drop this one and then you let me know your part. There are some parts of California where gas is already $10. Hey, is Gavin Newsom doing anything to help with that?
Gavin Newsom is going to start cutting checks to Californians to help subsidize the price of gas. So
what a nice guy.
So think about this. So on multiple levels, let's break this down, right? So if anything, injecting free money into an economy isn't a good idea because that's why we're where we are, right?
It means
that's
more money.
Exactly. It means more money in your pocket and the dollar is worthless. Okay. Never mind that the reason California is leading in gas prices is because of taxes. So think about this snake eating his own tail type of shit. Gavin Newsom is taxing you more for the gas. And then he goes, I'm going to do y'all a favor. I'm going to use those gas taxes, right? And I'm going to give them back to you so you can spend them on gas. That is ridiculously high due to the taxes that I have put on the gas. What? Just saying it out loud is the most ridiculous shit that I have said out loud in at least 12 hours.
And I said some dumb shit.
I was up for 30 hours, all right? I said dumb shit at the end of that. Think about that, though. He goes in front of the camera and he's like, I'm going to do y'all a solid, all right? You're like,
check this shit out.
Are you going to cut the gas tax? Negative. I'm going to cut you a check. Okay. For how much? And he's like, let's say it's $400. All right.
Okay.
It's $400. Okay. I filled up my Ford Fiesta in Texas for $50.
Dude, it's bad.
That is half the price. So if I was in California and I had to fill up my Ford Fiesta, it would cost me $100. So Gavin Newsom goes, I'm gonna pay for 4 fill-ups. Could you just cut the and that's what that side of the aisle does not understand. Cut the taxes. Cut the taxes. Just do that. Keep
but then
more
how
money
will we make
in people's
money?
Pockets. It's I don't care.
He took off his glasses, ladies and gentlemen. Glasses are off.
The government is not. I understand the government is about making money, but you're not trying to maximize it. California is slowly killing itself. Slowly.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of the country sees it because everybody is leaving. And as someone who lives in Texas and lives right down the street from Austin, it's the worst. Please stop coming here because you all want to come here and you're like, oh my God, Texas. Oh, I can breathe that free air. Do it.
But what if we made it less free?
What if we turned Austin into San Francisco and every Texan is like, are you that dumb? And they're like, yeah, I am. Yeah. It's about to get
San
dumber.
Francisco doesn't even want San Francisco. They just fucking recalled their DA.
I love it.
And you know what? But it wasn't his fault. He said the Republicans, the rich Republicans, they outspent him. They fucking media coveraged him.
Man,
you got the San Francisco apologists that say San Francisco was always a conservative area just because this guy fucking got recalled.
You know that hotbed of conservatism, San Francisco. You know
whatever happened to shitting on the street?
I'm telling you, finding heroin needles in the park. God.
That was not Full House, so don't
Bob
copyright strike us.
Saget is turning over in his grave right now.
He loved it. The comedian Bob Saget, it was like he just ha-ha'd. He LOL'd in his fucking grave. The actor Bob Saget, like, oh, God.
Don't use my name and Republicans in the same sentence.
Keep my paycheck out your motherfucking mouth.
Keep my wife's paycheck out of your fucking mouth. I swear to God, I loved yelling that at people.
You know, people like to talk shit about Florida. Florida this, Florida that. You know what DeSantis is doing? He's removing taxes, at least temporarily, on things like gas and other things. The other things escape me, but they were vital.
And it's almost like then he's taking it and going, "Hey, giant businesses that we made a tax haven for you. We're going to come to you." Like what most Democrats do. Hey, you know what, Disney? To pull a page out of the Democrats' talking book, it's time to pay your fair share. Got to pay that fair share.
Unless you are an underserved party, then you don't have to pay your share.
Giant corporations need to pay their fair share, Disney. And all of a sudden then everyone's like, whoa, you can't target Disney like
too
that.
much.
They make child's programming.
That's an interesting point, though. Didn't the big thing with Republicans? They do it for the big guy, for the big companies.
They're in the pocket of the NRA and big corporations, right? If
Oh my gosh.
That's the only people you serve. The NRA, who is, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed this, are dwindling, right? The NRA's membership has been going down.
It's a nothing target. It's a soft target. Yes. They literally do nothing but provide an organization. They don't do anything towards gun laws. They do contribute as gun lobbyists, but it's basically pennies. Like you see people like Ted Cruz just fucking taking that money. He probably just wipes his ass with it because it's nothing of a lobbyist donation.
Wipe your ass with money.
The U.S. healthcare, fucking pharmaceuticals contribute. This is not the exact figure. I had this Twitter fight the other day, but I forget the exact figure. Let's just say 1,000% more for argument's sake. Yeah. You can fact check me on that.
Yeah, it turns out we don't always have facts when we talk to you. We like.
I only have facts when I get drunk and start fighting with people on Twitter. Look for the underqualified and overcompensated on Twitter.
Why? Why bother with that cesspool?
Oh God, dude.
I was thinking about getting back on Twitter when they were like, Elon's getting back on, right? And I was like, Elon will straighten that shit up. And then they were like, they paused the buyout because Twitter, turns out, is garbage. Like, they manufacture numbers to pump up their advertising dollars. And
they finally gave in, though.
Jack Dorsey is a cuck.
They finally gave in. They have at least agreed to release the stats on bots and the algorithm.
They have to.
That would make sense.
The Elon purchase has done such a thing to a company where they were just like, you know what? Whatever you say goes against our hate speech, and we're gonna kick you off. And Elon came in and he's like, I'm gonna offer. How much did he offer? $14 billion or something.
Yeah, a very significant amount. I don't remember the figure right now.
So he overvalued.
It wasn't chump change, and he overbought on it to make the deal go through.
Exactly, and so they couldn't say no because if you're a stockholder in Twitter, they can't say no to that purchase because then you're not actually looking out for the stockholders and the shareholders in that company. And that's what DeSantis brought up. He's like, if they say we're turning down this offer. He's like, we are going to open an investigation into that because we have pensions that are invested in Twitter. And if you're not going to do what's best for that stock price, we're going to invest into it. Was brilliant. It held a company, a publicly traded company, which is exactly what these companies need. They were held accountable and they fought it. Every way they turned, though, they were just like, fuck. They could not escape it. And that's what has to happen with these companies that are trying to enforce these laws, not even these laws, these rules where it's just like, oh, I don't agree with what you said. It's hate speech. It's not. It's
everything's hate speech. That's the thing, though.
Disagree with me.
There's no dialogue anymore. People that didn't have the same ideas were able to carry on a conversation before. And now it's like, if you don't believe exactly what I believe in, there's no dialogue
because people identify as their politics now. Like if anybody asks me, they're like, "Oh, what political party?" I am a conservative Republican. I have no problem with that. And if someone's like, "Oh, that's great," I'm a diehard liberal. And I was like, "Okay, do you want to talk? Like, if you want to discuss about it and about why you've chosen that path in life and why I've chosen this path in life, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But if you find out my political party, and all of a sudden I'm racist, homophobic, and I hate women." Then it's just like, I'm not the ignorant one. You are. You're the ignorant one. And at that point, like, your opinion of, you're a Republican, you're a racist. Okay, you're ignorant, and now my life hasn't changed. Like, all I know now is you're ignorant. I know I'm not racist. I know I'm not. But, like, that doesn't bother me. But it's like the people who get up on the soapboxes and they're like, if you are this, if you're a Republican, this is what defines you. And you're like, how do you know? And they're like, because I'm a liberal. And you're like, then we are that right there. Like, if you're not that, how do you know what defines it? How do you tell someone they are something when you aren't that?
Let me throw.
That. Yeah.
Keep going. I'll wait. No,
And I get that there's certain things, and this goes down a rabbit hole of certain things. Like we can get into like the transgenderism, and it's just like, well, how do you tell me I'm
that's
not
a whole
woman?
nother episode.
Exactly. How do you tell me I'm not a woman when you're not a woman? It's like, well, because I went to 7th grade biology. That's why. But that's, like you said, that's down the road. But it's just like, I'm so tired of people who are just like, you identify as this, then you're also these other things. It's like, no, I'm not. Like, oh, then you hate women's rights. I'm actually very pro-choice. I'm open to it. But the thing is, now pro-choice is like pro-abortion, right? There's no pro-choice.
There's everything's so black and white. It's either this or that. There is no gray anymore.
It's like if you're pro-choice, you're rooting for an abortion to happen, and then it's just like, well, I don't know about that. Like
every time a hanger falls out of the closet,
I'm telling you, a baby loses its skull. Like,
I feel like we haven't hit that yet today.
That's fair. But that's exactly it.
It was on both of us, not just you.
Yeah. You're not pro-choice anymore. It's like you're pro-life or you're pro-abort everybody.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, you can't do that because, extinction. But you can't be pro-choice. Pro-choice now means, oh, man, fucking whip them up like you're making a souffle, just, hoover that out and just whip it around for a little bit.
All right, what the hell is that? Oh, I thought it was my cat. It's just my headphone.
Kid. Oh, okay.
47 kids. Let me throw this. I'm going to throw two things at you. A statement and a question, and maybe not necessarily in the order. This is not my line. It came from a friend's dad, right? And I heard this line through a third party, and I was like, maybe there's something to it. So the question, which doesn't have to be answered right now, is it an age thing? The statement is from this particular individual: if you're not a liberal in your 20s, you don't have a heart. If you're not a conservative in your 30s, you don't have a brain. Does that line resonates? And I don't get along with this dude. I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says, but that line resonated with me. Does that
yes
make sense to you at all?
Yes. So I feel like when you're younger and you wouldn't be involved with like changing the country, and you're just like, yeah, I buy into everything. We need to save the planet, and so we need to stop tomorrow driving cars around. You get really excited, right? You're immature because your brain's not fully developed, and you get really excited about these radical ideas, and that's what a lot of progressivism is. It's about radical ideas. It's about instant change. That's just a 90-degree turn from what we're doing right now, and some of it's a great idea. Like, I don't think. Let me rephrase that. There are conservatives who are like, we could be on fossil fuels for the rest of our lives. Like, yes, 78-year-old man, we will be on fossil fuels for the rest of your life. However, I would like my children to have a planet, like most conservatives, most Republicans. And I'm talking I hope there's liberals that are listening to this being like, oh, this is what most Republicans think. Because spoiler alert, this is what most conservative Republicans actually think. Like, no one is saying climate change doesn't exist. No one is saying, hey, it's a good idea to get off of fossil fuels.
It's about 170 degrees outside my house right now.
Bro, it is, my backyard is on fire.
Everything is fine.
The moon is out, and it is balls hot right now. Right? Like, trust me. Talk to someone who lives in Texas in June.
We're not okay.
Climate change is a thing.
Call your Texas buddies.
Bro, it sucks. I was outside at like 3 a.m. last night smoking a cigarette, and a breeze kicked up, and I went, oh, I wish the breeze would fucking stop because it was hot. Like, we know, but we also are going, it's not realistic to be like, we're going to switch to wind. No, we're not. We're not going to switch to wind tomorrow.
Nope.
Like, you got like someone like AOC who's like, by January 1st, 2023, no more fossil fuels. And you're like, you stupid bitch. Like, and are you that fucking dumb? And she is. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call her a
Queen of Uno.
That's rude. but she is ignorant. She is ignorant when it comes to like timetables, and that's what. And she's not the only one. She's just she's just the easy punching bag, right? Because she's loud and she's obnoxious, you know. And anytime you criticize her, it's because you want to fuck her, right?
That's at least that's what it means for me. You know,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Maybe by January 6th of next year, everything will be fine. But Tyler,
why not January 6th of last year?
Want to tell us about it?
Oh no!
I feel like I'm hosting from now on. I feel good right now. I had a couple solo weeks.
It feels good, man.
Cody, you're fired.
Yeah, sorry, bud. Go. I don't know what's he doing. Go study.
Go study your bare naked ladies hold. I don't know.
Yeah, no, go study bare naked ladies. The Canadian band, not the group of people.
Here, January 6th. What's going on, Tyler? Come on, tell me.
You know what? The American people have spoken, and they don't give a shit about what happened on January 6th.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
But because Democrats control Congress, we are having prime time televised. What is this? It's not a trial.
This is the biggest
hearing
nightly aired on television cock block live TV I've ever seen. All of this just to keep mean orange dude from being able to run again.
He's not going to run again. Like, we all know this. He's not. Because at that point, he's older than Biden was. So all we've been making fun of is Joe Biden is how old he is. And so come 2024.
We did a lot better under his old ass than this current old ass.
You're not wrong. But, like, we're not going to vote for another old guy. Right? Like, Trump had his 4 years. He could have won against Joe Biden. He ran a sloppy campaign and he lost it. You know, like that's what happened. He should have beat Joe Biden. He didn't. But because everyone's aware.
Dude just says no.
Wow. My screen froze. I can hear you. I just can't see anything.
We can see you.
Okay.
You can keep going.
That's fine. Like, Trump's not going to win, but as we've just spoken about for the last 42 minutes and 40 seconds, this economy, this country is in bad shape right now.
Oh yeah,
it's in really bad shape, both in terms of politics, in terms of the economy, and everything like that. I think if you really ask a Democratic voter if they're happy with the Biden administration, they're going to say no, right? They're not.
His numbers are the lowest of his numbers are lower than Donald Jermaine Trump. Is that his middle initial? His middle name? Donald Jamal Trump. It should have been Jamal.
It should have been. That would have been fucking called.
His numbers are trending lower than Donald Jamal Trump. He, according to the CNN or the White House press room, everybody's fucking leaving. He's upset because people keep correcting him. Well, Grandpa, stop saying stuff that's wrong.
Stop saying dumb shit, or start saying complete sentences, because that's my favorite. My favorite is when he's in the middle of a sentence and his brain just goes away. And you watch it.
Jamiroquai is better.
You watch his eyes and you just go, oh, he's done. He is done with that thought right now. He's not completed it, but he's finished with it. And this is the other thing. I listened to some conservative guys and they're like, we're not making fun of dementia. No one's making fun of dementia. I'm not saying Joe Biden has dementia. Joe Biden might have dementia.
He definitely does.
You see in his eyes that he is completely lost. Again, we'll get back to January 6th. And we've talked about this.
Sorry. That was the promise of the show. We get distracted.
Yes. Watch that Kimmel interview.
Oh, we never got to it.
That is the easiest layup. He goes on ABC, which I'm not saying this is some conspiracy. It's kind of a conspiracy theory. He goes on ABC, right? That's what Jimmy Kimmel is broadcasted on, right? He goes on this easy layup interview that he doesn't do interviews with. He doesn't do interviews with actual journalists.
No, he hasn't done an interview in like 118 or 180 days. I can't remember the exact thing.
So he gives the interview to the former host of The Man Show, Roger. Too easy. Gotcha.
And now for Joe Biden's on trampolines.
Right? Oh, it's just broken bones and Ray-Bans. Anyway, like he goes on ABC, he goes on Kimmel, and he still fucks it up. Mind you, do you know who they hired to produce these January 6th hearing things that are showing in prime time?
I feel like it's super important.
The president of ABC.
Oh, so this was it's so there's no conspiracy here. You let off with this is a conspiracy. Obviously not. Yeah, conspiracy is not in plain sight. This
is a you scratch our back, you'll continue to scratch our back.
Yeah.
And you can continue saying really nice things about Joe Biden. I don't know if it's I say the president of ABC. It might not be. It might be like the head producer, the head director. Yeah. It's someone very high
either
up
way,
in
it's
ABC.
somebody who has their eggs in the same basket.
Correct.
For less.
That is producing these hearings, whatever they are, whatever the fact that
they're not hearings.
What are they? They're just people. They're just politicians being like, that orange man is bad, right? They're like, yeah.
Oh, that was so bad. Don't you all agree with me? Arr, 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 arr. And you got Liz Cheney, which I hate the term rhino because it's so stupid. But I mean, really, she is that a Republican in name only.
So I do have an opinion about her. Like, I think she actually has a thing. I think she saw how Donald Trump was as a person, and we all know Donald Trump was a shit person, right?
Oh yeah.
I think you can.
He's a shit person that got stuff done, though.
But so was Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton was a shit person. He was charming, but he had a successful presidency.
Yeah,
he did. Like, you can't say the Clinton administration for 8 years was unsuccessful. Yes, they were. Like, they ran. Our economy was really good. Our military kind of took a step back a little bit, but like that was their precedent. But like, Bill Clinton was a shit person. And even now, in hindsight, most Democrats will be like, hey, he was a shit person. And so she's sitting there going, Donald Trump is a shit person. Right? And everyone's like, no one's arguing with you, Liz. Like, Roger.
Tracking.
He ran because he was upset with Biden. That's when you take Obama and you take
Biden.
And you throw yum. Right? Like, I get it. She has an opinion. What I don't love is how the Democrats are just like, Liz Cheney, man. And you're like, what's that last name? You villainized. You had Oliver Stone make a movie about how bad Dick was.
Was he played by Christian Bale? Was that another Christian Bale jam?
Yep. That was a Christian Bale joint.
The Batman God Butcher.
I'm telling you, he took a
tickets
break
for sale on Monday for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Who gives a shit? Who cares? Marvel movies.
We'll save that. We'll save that for an overreacted one day. Not today. January 6th, Liz Cheney. You're gonna get me too distracted.
Yeah, I understand she has her opinions, and she should have her opinions, just like everybody should, right? Everyone's allowed. But like I really feel like I don't think she's being manipulated, but I feel like she is. You know what I mean? Because of her last name, and think about the demon that her father was. Because that's what he is. They're like, Dick Cheney was so bad that invading Iraq wasn't good enough, so he shot his buddy in the face. And you're
just like, birdshot walking off, bitch.
And you're just like, what the fuck? And you're like, what do you think about his family? They're like, Liz Cheney's okay. She's all right. She says what we want her to. Like, I get it. She thinks Donald Trump's a piece of shit. He's kind of a piece of shit. If you ask Donald Trump if he's a piece of shit, he's like, I'm a piece of shit, but I get it done. And you're like,
that's what I'm saying.
You kind of do, bud. Like, he realizes what he is, and he's never shied away from it. And I do respect the shit out of that. Like, he's exactly not Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a piece of shit. He is so
because nothing. Well, he's very successful at ruining things.
He's so good at it. He's so good at it. Joe Biden is Odie from the Garfield comics. All right? Like, he's just this dumbass who gets the shit kicked out of him every now and then. But every now and then, here's a win. And unfortunately,
What win? Name the last win.
For Odie or for Joe Biden?
The harder one will be Biden, so go for Biden.
Okay. Winning the presidency.
Oh, that's a very distant victory.
But that's the last one he had.
He's in a job where he needs to be winning at least on a monthly basis.
He's not. He's not doing that. I can't give you that. I would love to. Rico, I would love to sit here and tell you.
Bi-monthly?
I would no. I would love to tell you that Joey Boombox is doing a semi-successful job. He's not. He's very bad at his job. Anyway, these January 6th shows. They're shows.
It feels like propaganda. It feels like
They're
McCarthy
shows.
hearings.
I swear to God, I just want to see some woman, some Jamaican woman just being like, quiet, I'm turning on me stories. And then she turns on the fucking January 6th, fucking shows. Because that's exactly what they are at this point. There's some
That's
old
all it feels like.
Soaps.
It's one-sided fucking propaganda. They're fighting this fucking fight versus their Thanos, fucking Trump with the infinity fucking golf course on his wrist. I just collected Mar-a-Lago. And
Let that go. I'll never go to jail.
What are you talking about? Joey, he just said he thought this was a banger of a line on Kimmel. When Kimmel was like, it was the line vaguely quoting, they say, why do you play by the rules? The Republicans don't play by the rules. And then Kimmel goes into a Monopoly fucking bit. Yeah. And then Joey's like, then I'll send them all to jail.
And the audience
for applause.
Laughed.
But they had to wait for the dude to hold the fucking applause sign.
Hey!
And it was so bad. Trump would never have gotten away with that. He would have been vilified to this day, which he still is being vilified for everything.
He is. He's still the only thing that they can point out. The only thing this is a last ditch effort for Democrats to try to win some seats back in this election, because they're going to get demolished.
It feels like that.
They're going to get demolished by the Republicans because people are now saying these guys do not know how to lead. And the thing is, I don't understand for the Democrats, like every time the Democrats lose power, like Nancy Pelosi, right? She'll become the minority speaker. And then the Democrats will come back into power and they're like, oh, let's put Nancy Pelosi back in. Why? Why do you keep fucking up? Why do you keep putting these people who just stay in the same position? Like Joe Biden, like Nancy Pelosi, like Chuck Schumer. Like, I get it. Republicans can sit there and be like, well, Mitch McConnell. I get it. Mitch McConnell, I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's great either,
I think he's a piece of shit, and he should definitely go.
Mitch McConnell, if Mitch McConnell was like, I'm not running again, I'd be like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I get it. I'm okay with that. Like honestly, like I'm ready for Rand Paul to take over that position. If we're gonna keep Kentucky and like let's put Rand Paul in that position.
What about DeSantis?
DeSantis is running for president.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, let's say
is running for president.
So we're seeing
that's why Trump's not going to run. Because Ron DeSantis,
do you think that's why we've been smearing Florida for so long?
Yes, yes. It has been written from at least a year ago that Ron DeSantis is, and that's why Florida handled COVID so bad. That's why Ron DeSantis hates gay people and he hates transgender people because of the laws that Florida is passing. He's hateful. He hates you, right? And they use that language, right?
Yeah.
They use. I thought about this the other day. I'm listening to the radio as I was coming home from work, and they talked about the guy who stood outside of Kavanaugh's home, who's planning on killing
the assassin that got zero to. He's getting more media coverage right now. Us talking to him than he got on regular mainstream fucking media.
Like this guy sat outside of his house and he was like, "Oh no, there's security." and he called police to turn himself in, which is good for you.
What a weak body part.
Right?
No.
But like because the rhetoric that they're using, because they do say it. They're like, this is war. You know, we need soldiers.
Constantly.
They use rhetoric that describe. I'm not saying you and I are like fucking who are infantry rangers and shit, but they use it to describe, soldiering. Hey, guy from Kavanaugh's house. Since I don't know, maybe you're a listener. You're not a soldier.
No,
you're not. You're not going to war.
You're a younger person, probably.
These individuals are not waging war against you. There's no war being waged against people. Like, I get it. There's issues in this country. Like, there's issues in every country. Our country is big. Our country's crazy diverse. And that's why I don't like when we get compared to like other countries, right? Like, well, in Finland, you're like, oh, roger that.
Fuck you, Finland. There's like 12 of you.
Yeah, roger that. The 14 white people in Finland, we can absolutely compare ourselves to them.
Totally the same.
Shut the fuck up with those comparisons. We are an incredibly diverse country. We are always going to have disagreements. We are always going to have problems. But you need to shut the fuck up with this rhetoric. Shut the fuck up by saying something about waging war against women. You're waging war against healthcare. No. You know who wages war? Russia against Ukrainians. And everyone is aghast at it. Everyone's like, oh my God, look at what the Russians did to Yes, that's war. That's what war is. So when you sit there and you stand there in front of a women's march and you go, Brett Kavanaugh, you're waging war against women. You're going to have someone who's not right in the head going, I'm a soldier now. Because he's waging war against me, and soldiers go to war. This garbage rhetoric, like I could sit there and say Joe Biden's a bad president. You could sit there and say Donald Trump's a bad president. Guess what? We're kind of both right. You know? We both are.
How dare you? My thing is better than your thing.
Exactly. But stop it with this over-the-top garbage. You need to watch what you say. Both people. Everybody needs to say that. You want to talk about the guy outside Kavanaugh. You can go back to the baseball shooting. You remember the guy who just opened fire? And it just so happened that because Scalise was there, he had security, so they shot this guy?
That's another story that just like disappeared.
But it's
that was hot for like 24 hours. That's it.
Because they reported it because Bernie Sanders at that time was talking about, again, waging war. And they're trying to Bernie Sanders, again, this is what everybody needs to know. Bernie Sanders did not send this person out to go shoot, what's his name? Steve Scalise? Yeah, I think so. Steve Scalise. House Minority Whip. Like Bernie Sanders is not responsible for this idiot. However, when that happened, everybody was like, hey, we need to look at this rhetoric. And then it went out the window. And now we're waging war again. No, you're not. No one is waging war. No. I am a United States soldier. Rico is a United States soldier. That's what we're not doing. Waging war. And that's our primary function.
Speed and violence, baby. Speed and violence.
That is our shoot, move, communicate, and it used to be kill, but they kind of knocked that off. But you know what that...
We're more PC now.
What's the first one? Shoot. We are, at the end of the day, Rico and I's job is to shoot people and then heal them.
Yes.
That's our job. And we use rhetoric like that. We use rhetoric like that in the military. You, as a politician, against someone you disagree with, should never use the same rhetoric as that.
No.
Ever. Because
you're weaponizing people that are being easily manipulated.
Weaponizing is the perfect word for that.
That's what's happening. It's
happening.
I'm not saying you understand that. I'm just saying to whoever catches this live, whoever catches this on the back end, that is what's happening. They're using your emotions and your ideals to weaponize you.
Stop. I hate to break it to you, Democrats. You and I, like most of us, we think very similar. We probably have 70%. we probably agree on 70% of how this country should go. And it's stop being divided. Stop it. I'll make fun of you.
They're winning.
I will.
Because we're divided.
Yes. I will make fun of you for your views. You can make fun of me. What I do not want you to do is demonize me. And that's the problem. Stop demonizing. Someone is not my enemy. I can think Joe Biden's the worst president in the world, right? I can think that because I'm right. And you could think he's great.
He's not wrong.
And you could think he's great, and that's fine. We can disagree. But don't demonize me, because I'm not going to demonize you. I'm not going to. I am a very conservative, very Republican person. And so most people are going to be like, oh, well, then you must hate women. Yeah, I hate my wife.
I love the bitches.
I hate the women I work with at work. Like, no. Like, I don't.
You don't work with women, you work with soldiers.
You're homophobic. You're right. You're right. And you're racist. You're right. So the black gay soldier I work with at work, I must despise him. I'm so tired.
Make sure you put that in this counseling for plan of action. I will continue to despise.
Right? Because of my political affiliation. Like,
that's a fucking joke for anyone that can't get that shit, assholes.
Yeah, exactly. This country needs a strong pulling head out of ass. Because that's where we're sitting right now.
It's the scene from John Hancock when Will Smith, not when he smacks Chris Rock, when he says, if you say that to me again, I'm going to put your head up his ass. We're still in that guy's ass, America.
Get out. Like, do you know how powerful our voice would be if we all were just like, we're done. Stop it. Chuck Schumer, shut the fuck up. Ted Cruz, shut the fuck up. Like, we're on the same page.
We are, but it feels like somebody is behind the wheel and they're just drunk, much like Nancy Pelosi's husband. You would never know it. Whoever's running this country. Sorry, that's all I had.
Speaking of drinking too much, take me out.
Whoever's running this country, they've had too much and they're behind the wheel and they're not making good decisions. A lot like Mr. Pelosi, who got pulled over for DUI maybe 3 days ago. Hey, guess what? The left has a lot of power. All charges gone. It never fucking happened.
I'm getting up. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I said take me down.
I didn't hear you. I'm taking him down. Taking him way downtown. Remove. So, Mr. Pelosi gets a DUI. Gets picked up by the police. And nothing. If you're getting a DUI, I like to drink. But if you're getting a DUI, you shouldn't be able to, or if you're driving drunk, you shouldn't be able to just get away with it. That shouldn't be a fucking thing. This dude, because his wife is in a position of power, was able to have a DUI completely erased from their record books. It never happened, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Position of power. Those are the people that are weaponizing the youth of America. Those are the people that are saying, take it to the fucking streets, but then get upset when the other side takes it to the streets. You're being weaponized. You're being used for someone else's gain. I mean, that's where I'm at on it. You're letting people that don't give a shit about you turn you into a tool. And then you get arrested, and then they bail you out. For what? To further their agenda. And that's where we're at.
First of all,
Tyler, you catch any of that?
Taking it to the streets, taking it to the streets. So again, I know people who have, again, we're gonna compare ourselves to other government employees. but we're
Was it? Is Tundi fucking with me? Was that deep?
No. I mean, yes, it was. It is, but
I think she's fucking with me.
We're government employees, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All day, every day, 24 hours a day.
I'm not saying that this individual is a government employee, but his significant other is a higher up government employee. So it's let's make the comparison. I've known people, I'm sure you know people who have been kicked out of the military for a DUI.
Thank you. Yes.
Have you known someone who's been kicked out of the military for a DUI?
I know somebody, not even a DUI. You know what he got kicked out of the Army for? This was in a location that we shared. He didn't pop hot. He had a grinder. He had a grinder in his room, a decorative grinder, and still got kicked out of the Army. For those that are not tracking, because you're good boys and girls, or thems or theys, a grinder is used to grind down the marijuana. And he had it in his room. It was caught during a room inspection. And he liked it. There was nothing, according to him, allegedly, there was nothing found on it. He never popped hot, which would mean failing a drug test. Oop, I hit the wrong thing. That was a space bar. And he still got kicked out. And he was a really fucking good soldier. Up until the point they said, you can't be in the Army anymore because we found paraphernalia in your room. Isn't that weird?
So let's take that comparison. So here's an individual who committed an actual crime.
Yes.
I would say it's pretty high up there. We can have our discussion about DUIs later. Like, everyone wants to talk. Well, I don't want to get into that. But like,
no, it's not even the DUIs are fucked up. They're wrong. Don't do it. It's
especially now when you
take a goddamn Uber.
You can order one from the phone that lives in your pocket. Like, think about that. Don't fucking do it. There's no reason for a DUI. And so this individual, I know he has the money because I've been inside of his house and I've seen his freezer because his wife decided to show it off during an Instagram video, right? And they pay. Yeah, she showed like her freezer and she was like, I love ice cream. And it was like $45 a pint or something like that. So like, hey, bud, you can
nothing
afford
but extra premium liberal Ben & Jerry's.
Oh my God, just made with conservative tears.
What flavor is that? What flavor is that? Barack Extra Dark. I have to make it special for when I play in the bathtub.
No, Pelosi's got that. Pelosi doesn't have a tub. She's got that shower you open the door and step into. You've seen this. I've seen those commercials on Fox News where it's like, are you afraid of slipping when you get into the shower? And it's like some old woman. She's like, oh!
That was Pelosi.
But anyway, we digress, as we usually do. Yes. Anyway, this is to say that one, Uber, I think, started in San Francisco, first of all. And they definitely have the money for that. And yet he decides, nah, fam, I can drive. Gets pulled over, as he should. The police go forward, and they're like, hey, you can't do what you're doing. And then it's just
gone. Certain media outlets have not even been able to find the mugshot, the official report, anything. It is gone. It is gone. And these are the people that are using the youth of today as weapons. They don't play by the same rules. They use you.
Yeah. I just listened to a really good podcast about Watergate. And it was about, and a lot of it was about how Bernstein and Woodward, like, man, they went after it as reporters. Like, they chased every lead. They fucked up a couple of times, but they recovered. And at the end of the day, like, it's because of them that Watergate came out and basically Nixon resigned. And it was this huge win for the press because it was like, we are holding politicians. It was Richard Nixon's staff broke the law. And it was reporters who held them accountable for that. Gone. It's gone.
That will never happen again. That is probably the only time in history that will ever happen.
It's happened before, but that's the last time.
I mean, yeah, the last time.
That's the last time it'll happen.
Never again.
Is now they're all just playing what side they want to do. Are you Tucker Carlson? You're gonna sit in the pocket of the Republicans. Are you Don Lemon?
We fucks with Tux. Hashtag.
Yeah, that's right. Are you Don Lemon? Then you're just going to blindly support the Democrats. Like, you're never going to investigate the party that you sympathize with. And that is wild to me. And obviously news has changed. There was opinion in the paper. A lot of these guys were reporters. Like, these guys are investigative reporters. They're not anymore. Now it's just like, what can I do to get the interview? Like, Jimmy Kimmel got a sit-down interview with the sitting president of the United States, Jimmy Kimmel.
And it was
not the Washington Post, not the New. I'm going to be liberal. I'm not saying like, oh, he didn't sit down with Sean Hannity. That's wild, right? He didn't sit down with any Post reporters. He didn't sit down with like the Times or the New Yorker or the liberal-leaning, substantial media. He sat down with ABC late night talk show Jimmy Kimmel, and he still fucked it up.
Oh, horribly.
It goes to show, like, he's in over his head. He is.
No, by far.
I think Trump was too. He just had a decent administration around him.
Yeah, and he was a talker. He was a talker. It may have offended you, but he could kind of talk his way out of a little kerfuffle. Yeah, exactly. Biden can't talk his way out of his fucking shoebox.
He can't, because he gets lost halfway through, and I sometimes feel like embarrassed. It's like when you see something.
Rightfully so.
You ever watch like The Office, and when Michael Scott does something really embarrassing,
fucking just cringy,
and you look away from the TV because it makes you feel better?
That's
every
Biden fucking interview. And he hasn't done a one-on-one in 180 days. I don't remember the exact figure. He got a softball fucking with the Jimmy Kimmel. And even when he forgot his line, Jimmy Kimmel stepped in to fucking help him fill out his lines. Come on, dude.
And then at one point he shut him down and he's like, I have to go to commercial. Biden responds, you should. How are you that cognitive aware of your inability to be cognitive?
And on that bombshell, everyone, thanks for being with us tonight. Tyler, God damn it, I missed you, brother.
Yeah, I
missed
fun.
you.
This was good. It was we got to make fun of our political rivals, but we also got to speak actual, like, hey, dum-dums, like, this can get better. Like, we can make it better. We can at this level. As the Army likes to say, at the lowest level, like, we can handle this. That's what we need to do. Bring me a liberal.
Right now. That said, good night, everybody. Tyler, thanks for being here. Cody, sorry you couldn't be here. Cody, also sorry I'm replacing his host. You gave me 2 weeks to run free by myself. I am now the host of Uno, official now. I don't care. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, listen, I just want to call out one person.
And I hate myself a lot.